Good evening. Ira Epstein of Linn Associates with your SPDR ETF wrap-up, and this is for Monday, the 10th of August, 2020. All right, my friends, a pretty mixed day today. You know, we've seen recent weakness in XLK and the QQQ. So the techs have been, if you will, stalled a bit, as now you've seen life come back into the SPY, the DIA, the IWM is coming alive also. I don't know why I have that over there, and I should have these here. I'll move those. I just noticed that. Foreign currency trade was all over the board today, with the yen and the euro a bit lower as the pound was up, but the dollar index suddenly getting a little bit of a boost. And the gold market, if you take a look at GLD and GDX, they didn't do well at all today, yet silver had another outstanding day to the upside, and we saw corrections hit in the bond market and the note market. So let's go to the charts. We're coming down a bit, and the question I have is the market going to try to fill this gap right here? If we come back to this, we see the high of that gap is 110.47. So that could be where the market's looking to find some support. Gaps often get filled on charts. That's the best way I can explain it. If we take a look at the swing line, we are no longer in a trend. You have a pattern of a higher high and a low. Today's low is 111.89 under the 112.42. So you've gone neutral in terms of the chart pattern. The market is over the 18-day average of closes, which is 109.61. If the market fell there, I'd look for support to come in. That's how this market has been acting each time it's come to it. And until it proves that it doesn't work that way, why would I change my opinion? So if it breaks and fills the gap, could get down there, and I'd still look for support at that market. In terms of Bollinger Bands, the market failed at the upper Bollinger Band. I don't know if failure is the right word. It got to it. It stayed over it about 3 days, if you can see this right through. Can't count that day, right there. And that was too much for the market. It then started pulling back, and that's turned into a bit more of a downside correction than anything else. In terms of momentum, the momentum is still embedded. Now, what do I mean? Both numbers are over 80 today. Both numbers were over 80 on Friday and on Thursday. At least you have 3 days in a row. You actually have 4 days in a row of that. That tells me that the professional trader is buying this market on this pullback, and he is not concerned with this until the red line closes under 80. That's what I believe is taking place. So they're playing momentum, not the chart pattern, I think. In SMH, when you reopen, you're probably going to lose that embedded reading. Be very careful of it. This market, I wouldn't be as keen on as I am on the others. You've got lower highs, lower lows. It too was riding the upper band. You can see it. And then it backed away. And you know what I tell you is you're riding it. I keep pointing out, look at the rule of 5 as I have it. You can go beyond it, but typically you stretch yourself out. If you have 5 consecutive closes over the Bollinger Band, the market starts doing something else. It's rare to get to 5. And what this market did is it just kept hitting the band, closing under it, not that you didn't get the 5 in a row, but it's also a sign you've run into, that, like I tell you, that brick wall. These markets pay attention to Bollinger Bands. Will they always do it? I don't know. But when you come back and you do your homework, you get to see that it's got merit. The industrial sector is looking better than anything else. This market popped. It's just recently embedded. It's got a couple of days now over the upper Bollinger Band. If we take a look at the close on Friday, you were at the very top part of the range in the quadrant there. If we look at this close at 73.87 versus 73.88, it was over the upper Bollinger Band, or right on it at least. So I have now got 2 consecutive closes with today. I think until you take out these lows right here, that this market's put in a base. And that's how I'm going to label that. And I think the pros see what I'm seeing. I also am watching here for the 18-day, is it going to get over the 200-day average? This is bullish setup. So we'll see how much fireworks it can do. In the energy sector, you're just caught in what I call a pipe. This is that sideways action. And pipes They're like widow makers. You think they're going to break out to the upside, they don't. You think it's going to break out to the downside, they don't. And they just keep going back and forth in there. I hate them. In the NASDAQ, are we going to begin a correction of a little more merit and maybe get back to the 18-day average of closes? Now understand, that's about all I'm looking for. So if you lose the embedded reading, I don't know that you're going to lose it. I'm wondering if these breaks aren't being bought by the pros thinking they can get the market back up. And the reason is, if you watch today, you saw rotation day. You saw the S&P, the SPY, you saw the DIA, IWM. They were getting the bid as the offers were hitting the NASDAQ and it was lower. Rotation out of maybe higher value tech stocks into the other parts of the market. You know, people are wondering what's the next new sector you have to go into. I don't know. There was some of that, I think, going on. As we look at the emerging market, ETF, the market is just drifting here sideways. You're in that pipe, just like you are in the energies. I don't like those pipes. In the GLD, watch the momentum tomorrow. If this closes under 80, it's a sign that price and the 18-day average want to make a run at each other. Whether they'll succeed, we'll see. But that would be a loss of momentum. It's got to be a good day for the metals tomorrow. If it isn't, and good means you keep that number and you got to start turning it back up, there's a problem brewing for the first time, and maybe something of a correction is ready to hit this market. The gold miners acted, I think, terrible. The market, as you can see, momentum is down. The market had a big reversal day. It didn't have an outside day down, but if it now closes over 42.18, you could be setting up for more of a break, potentially, maybe the lower Bollinger Band, or you run out of momentum here. Either way, you take out 42.25, and I suddenly am no longer in the bull camp. I wasn't after you hit this high. And traders that follow my afternoon Spider ETF know that I said, no, this is not a good market. It is following, not going and leading in any manner. And I was expecting the miners to do better than they did. TLT, this is what occurs when you have an embedded reading and it gets lost. You haven't lost it, but any reading under that does it. So on Thursday, you lose the reading. The market's way up here. Unless it comes back immediately on Friday, I am looking for price in the 18-day average to make a run at each other. Market's looking okay for me there, and I said this in my Spider ETF video on Friday. Actually, I put it out this weekend for my traders. Boom, right where I thought. Now, you're no longer in an uptrend. You have nothing. You have a higher high, lower low, neutral. FXE, you lost your bullish embedded reading. What do I think? I think the market's going to see price in the 18-day average make that run right now at each other. It could take a few days, but I think you're in that pattern right now. I'd like to be proven wrong, but I've got my question about that. So you put it all together, you try to come up with strategies, and that's part of what this is too. The profitable trading strategies in any market put out by our friends at Modern Trader. And in that, what they do is they cover all these different table of contents with great stories and great graphics behind it so that you learn different ideas. Here you go. Price action trading gives you an idea. Do you even know what it means? It'll teach you what that is. Their flat base pattern is very similar to what I call a pipe. Read it, start to learn. Then different trading rules. They'll talk about 10. Well, there's so many others. I don't know what success is, but it gives you an idea. To me, success is having a discipline. Don't have the discipline, keep just going anywhere. Own the brokerage firms a long time, you get into trouble. How do you find out more? Go to our website, go to free offerings, everything you need is there. So www.iraepstein.com and give it a try. You'll see the other ones that we have as well. I'm Ira, you have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow.